Before I started this interview that if this interview was not made for the people in the States or Middle East or people in other countries, I could have probably started with Zindagi Ho Gayi Hai Safal, I am beach Ali Fazal. But I thought, no, Vasu, you can do better than that. You can do much better than that. How is it like? Okay, the talk of the day is Death on the Nile. Basically, we at Animated Times, we basically have a very diverse audience. We just want to talk about how basically Death on the Nile like it began for you. I'm pretty sure the movie is like still yet to be there in the theaters, so you cannot be talking a lot about it. But tell us a bit about how exactly you got the role. How was it working with Gal Gadot, Kenneth Branagh?
No, it's been an interesting experience. I mean, Death on the Nile was. I think we shot it in 2019, before the pandemic, and in fact, right before the pandemic, because when it started, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it was a long shoot. We shot it in studios mostly, and I mean, it's a classic. It's based on the Agatha Christie book, Death on the Nile, and there's also a lot to top because there's already a movie that was made in the
Yeah,
1970s with
yeah.
amazing actors. I mean, Betty Davis and
I mean,
Maggie
I think for
Smith, and
that matter, Murder on the Orient Express, the first one in the franchisee,
yeah, yeah,
even
yeah,
that was
yeah.
a
That was
brilliantly made movie.
yeah,
So how do you see
yeah.
Kenneth?
It was nice, and it did.
Yeah. So how do you see Kenneth Branagh as a director? I mean, he's also served as a director on film, and of course, he's worked as Hercule Poirot. So yeah, how did that come along for you? And how was the experience
Um,
overall?
I mean, he's a taskmaster, and it's been an amazing experience because he's also somebody from a theater background. He's a legend in himself, and he was very sweet. I mean, I feel very lucky that he actually brought me into the script, the film, and the original part was actually played by George Kennedy, who played Uncle
Okay.
Andrew. So my part
Oh.
was actually, the age was brought down for me, and it suddenly became Cousin Andrew, and I think that was something very inclusive, and of course we have one of the most diverse casts,
Of course,
that we
of
can
course.
we can probably imagine. So yeah, it's been a very, very learning experience for me on
And
that
and
front. I
and,
mean,
and,
also
and
because
I
it's
mean,
a
yeah, it was
yeah.
talk of it was quite a talk of the town. I would say that suave look that you had in the trailer. It's a very short look, that okay, fine. A lot of people in India saw it. Ali Fazal is there, but a bit about your role, basically.
Well, it's like the book. These guys are. How do I say without revealing much? I mean, we're all at the end of the day, we're all suspects. Because something has happened on the boat, and he is the chief accountant for Lene Ridgway, which is the character, played by Gal, and one of the guests on board the Karnak, which is the boat on the Nile, and yeah, I mean, a very sharp fellow. Very, you don't know right till the end. If you can, I mean, I suppose that's with everybody. You can't trust him, and that's why you need Hercule Poirot to solve the case. So yeah, I mean, you'll find out more things. I'm very
Of
excited
course,
about it.
as the movie releases, and it has created a lot of buzz around it just because of the star-studded cast it has. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
so
No,
yeah,
it was great.
yeah. So who was the
No, I
funniest?
was saying it was great working.
Yeah, yeah. Please go on.
I'm saying I think there's a lag in our. It's been a wonderful cast to work with as well. Uh, I remember you asked me that question, and especially because there were legends, like, I mean, Annette Bening.
Of
You
course.
had Russell Brand, Dawn French, all these guys. Apart from all the young lot. So that was a very good experience to kind of just share screen space, share homework and notes with all of them. So,
How
but
did the
mainly it's Kenneth
auditions?
Branagh himself, I
How did
guess.
the auditions for this come along? Like how did it exactly begin? Um, I mean, yeah,
Actually,
you've done Victoria and Abdul, which I really loved. We'll
yeah.
talk about that later, working with Judy Dench. But yeah, for now, about Dead on the Nile. How did the auditions come along for you?
I think so. Kenneth. I mean, of course, he works very, very closely with Judy Dench. So I know there's been there's probably some conspiracy there. But they did send me one scene from the film, and I, recorded that for him. And that was it. Like, I think that's when we started chatting, and I went over to London. We met for, you know, kind of developing the character and the look, and we decided together. And Kenneth is very, very open to that, and he kind of encouraged me to bring my own, self and my own ideas to the table.
Yeah, yeah,
So it was a long process. So the audition was, I feel lucky that he considered me already, and then of course I did the look test and I read this one scene. Because it is not an Indian accent, I'm not playing Indian. It has Queen's English.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
that was, I think, just to test that out, how
Yeah.
comfortable I am with,
And how hard did
you
you
know,
have to work on the dialect to get it right while filming Victoria and Abdul, for instance?
I mean, that's an actor's job.
I
So,
mean, of course that is, but how difficult was it
uh,
for you to,
I don't think, I mean, see, the level of difficulty changes with every actor, with every dialect that you do, right? Like the last film that I've just shot, I've had to do Pashto. So, that was hard for me because that's an alien language altogether, and the accent is also different. Here, I mean, for lack of a better explanation, the Britishers have ruled over us for 200 years. So I think it is easy to pick up the English accent if you're a decent enough actor, because as an actor, I think you have to be able to modulate and have to be able to, I mean, it's all about voice. So if you can understand, but it's total science. I mean, we had a dialect coach who kind of, was there, but I tried to work as much as I could on my own and kind of
well,
present.
I actually feel that, people are still ruling us. It's just not the British. So yeah, well. Anyway,
It's always
okay.
going to be the case.
Okay, when was the last time you were in Lucknow? But of both the directors, who was working the best with, like as an experience? Because you had a great screen time on Victoria and Abdul, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if you compare the two directors in the style of filmmaking, which one would you prefer? Like working on, like enjoying more, for that matter.
I mean, both are very different directors. Yeah,
Of
it's
course.
totally different. Steve, both the eccentricities of their direction are amazing and spectrums apart. Stephen Frears is somebody who knows what he wants. He has a structure to it. Kenneth Branagh is, because he has a Shakespearean background, and actually Stephen as well. He does. I mean, he's directed some iconic films, but because Kenneth is an actor, he knows how to break the ice very fast.
Yeah,
With
yeah, yeah.
Stephen, it was always like he's my guru. मतलब वो मुझे set पे मार भी देंगे तो मैं ले लूंगा. It was like that. He could. Um, um, but again, I mean, I would work in a heartbeat with any of them. Yeah, I don't think there's
So
any comparison. They're both legends.
starting from, I think, what I remember, Three Idiots, that role where you tragically had to suicide. I loved your role. I think it's a joy, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah,
think,
yeah.
yeah.
Love that. I mean, from then to doing other Bollywood movies, to now, when you're doing such amazing cinema, worldwide cinema. So I would like to ask you, what's the basic difference, or maybe a couple of differences that you found in the approach of filmmaking when it comes to Indian cinema and of course Hollywood?
Um,
Oh, your face
See,
reveals a lot right now.
no. It's not that. I have to think because the economies are different.
Yeah, yeah,
See,
yeah.
it's very
Agree.
hard to compare. A very, I mean, a 3 to 5 crore movie is uh, is really low budget for a film in Hollywood, right?
Right.
Their small budgets, like a medium budget, was $50 million. I
Right.
think
Right.
for Victoria and Abdul.
Right.
Death on the Nile is probably closing up to 100 mil. So then things change. You have more at stake. You're also releasing worldwide. You're catering to the world as opposed to Bollywood, which is one industry
That's
in
right.
India amongst many other industries. There's also Tollywood, there's Malayalam cinema, there's Tamil, there's Telugu, there's Bengali, Kannada. I mean, we have a range, and now we are actually up against all of them because there's some great Malayalam cinema coming out, Tamil cinema, which is
Definitely.
surpassing Hindi cinema. So I think right now we are finding ground with that. So I mean, the cultures are different, but the emotions are the same. Some big productions still are very good. I mean, I work with Excel Entertainment on
Of course.
Mirzapur,
Cannot
on
forget that.
Shokre.
I would have ultimately
Yeah.
got into that discussion, but yeah.
Yeah. So they've been nice. They've been really good and very, very thorough and very, I would
So
compare
do you
them
think?
to.
Do you actually think that the advent of OTT platforms, thanks to the COVID, is that the way forward, or people are again going to flock to theaters and theatrical releases will again like flourish as they used to?
I think it will flourish. Maybe it's something that community viewing is something you cannot take away from the audience. Because we thrive in that as a community. As a group, it's inherent to human beings. So theater viewing will never become obsolete. But of course, this is the new way forward, and it's the I suppose the right way because of the
Yeah.
pandemic and everything. We're stuck to our TVs, but it's okay. I think we're just going to find parallels between the two and
And do you think
coexist.
these OTT platforms gives writers a better chance to give their stories to the world as compared to we have a censor board, of course, in the Bollywood. So do you think these
No,
platforms
but
gives a better? Yeah, yeah,
yeah. I mean, the canvas got bigger, right?
yeah.
So
It does.
suddenly, while there might be a Mirzapur, there's also right next to it, a very good French show or a movie, and you're a click button away from rejection. So
So
everybody has to pull up their
yeah,
socks.
yeah, yeah. So your journey in Hollywood started with Furious 7, if I'm not wrong.
Hmm.
Yeah. So how did that turn along being your first Hollywood project? What were the emotions like, and how is it working with Vin Diesel? I mean, and of course, so many. It was a star-studded cast. It has always been like that. So how is that?
Yeah. Oh, it was amazing, amazing. I think I got very lucky. I started with a bang, with Fast and Furious, and it was. I actually, again, it was to play with accents. They weren't even casting
Yeah,
in India
yeah,
at the time.
yeah.
And I remember a friend of mine, Purvi Lavinia. She's actually, I mean, she's a casting and a manager, whatever. She does some really cool stuff. So she just asked me, "Yeah, would you like to do an Arab accent and try and figure this and try karte hain." So that's how it happened, and it was amazing. And to work with Vin Diesel, he a very large-hearted guy. For lack of, I mean, I don't know. I'd call him the Salman Bhai of Hollywood.
Working with Judi Dench, one of the finest actresses we've seen. How was that experience being one of the lead roles, of course, in the movie, and having such a like a long screen time with her? How much was there to learn and adapt, and how was the experience like working with her?
Judy is she's a child at heart, and
Okay,
for an actor to have that is the most important thing, and that's what I learned from her.
I love the way
I
you put
remember
it.
rehearsing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's true. The day you lose your innocence, the day you lose your playfulness, uh, you become cynical. You start judging. And it's fine. I mean, we're natural to judge. That's what I learned from her. I learned that, practice makes perfect. I learned
Yeah.
that rehearsals are still important. At the age of, at her age and at her stature, she's still, calling me and saying, "Okay, let's rehearse our lines, Ali. Let's spend some time before." She doesn't have to. She's very
That
good
is
at
so
her
sweet.
stuff,
I
but
mean, an actress like Judy
yeah,
Dench doing that. I mean, this also I think shows how dedicated she is towards her art.
yeah, and that's how.
Yeah,
That's why she's one of the greatest actors. I mean, we have. Uh,
totally. So, I mean, apart from the entire learning curve, um, let's talk about Mirzapur a bit because, of course, Guddu Bhaiya became a household name. I mean, we
yeah.
posted a story and we were getting replies like Guddu Bhaiya, and we were like, okay. I mean, even in our audience, there's a lot of Guddu Bhaiya involved. So,
No
how
problem.
much? My question to you is, you come from Lucknow, which happens to be in Uttar Pradesh, which happens to be the Texas of. Never mind, I won't continue. But you
Yeah,
get it, right? So how difficult or easy
yeah.
was it to grab that accent which you had probably heard all your life? Like for instance, "मार के helicopter बना देंगे." This is something we hear a lot, right? So it's not something that comes out the blue for us. But for people in Mumbai, I have
Yeah,
friends in Bombay, they find it hilarious.
yeah. I think it was different also because first I thought it'll be easy because I'll pick up the accent, but then I realized because I grew up in Lucknow, and this is, you might agree with this also. Lucknow say Banaras, from in Banaras, Mirzapur side, the accent, few words change. So those things are very important. You know, small nuktas change.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
say
yeah.
Banaras mein they don't say bhaukal like in
Oh,
Lucknow. They
God.
say bhokal. So, small things like that was needed work. And that's when the fun comes, when
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
from
It does.
Mirzapur calls you and says, "Yeah, okay, you got it perfect. You got it bang on the accent." So that was my biggest takeaway.
And
Of
I
course, the
think with
show did well. So,
with newer characters now coming in, Vijay Verma came in, played a brilliant role. I think
yeah,
the clouds seem pretty much blue for Mirzapur, and I hope that we get a third season very soon.
yeah, I hope so too. Vijay Verma, I don't call him by his name now. I call him sexy. That's his word. He's sexy.
Okay, so India in particular, is OTT, all these platforms, Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hotstar, are they the way forward?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I mean, depends who's asking and who's looking for the way forward, right? Also, always is, because I think it's a great time for technicians. I think we're done. I mean, ignoring technicians. Even in award shows till date, I see that we just don't honor them. It's a separate section that is played
I've
on
never
TV.
seen you in a single award show. Why is that?
I don't know.
that's
I
that's
mean, let's
the
not go there. That's like, it's like, I mean, I'll have to then comment on a lot of things and people will get angry, but it's okay.
the
I
last
just
time
feel
I
ki,
heard a three-letter word which went like "I love you," and this is the second time I'm hearing it. I don't know. Both time it really hurt. It still hurts because I don't know what to say about this. But
I
it's
know,
okay. I'm
but
pretty
it's okay.
sure the award ceremonies misses you more than the other way around.
No, it's not about me actually. I just feel like, especially after the pandemic, the technicians of our industry, they need to be hailed more. I know that because of OTT, the writers are getting justice, the directors are getting justice, the every department is getting that required attention. So I think it's good. Why not? Okay,
Are
keep
we
going.
friends now? Like, is this happening?
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's happened, dude. It's already happened.
Great, great. I think divided by regions, united by Lucknow.
Hell yeah, always.
So I hope you enjoyed being on Animated Times. It was great to have you on Animated Times, and I hope that we catch hold of you again with better releases
It was.
and
See,
we
that's
have a
why I wore
conversation.
animated like sweatshirts, man.
Of
I wore
course, you came
sweatshirts
prepared. I can
animated,
see
dude.
that. I mean, this was the most fun
Oh,
conversation I've had, and yeah, I hope I was a good host and you enjoyed equally.
yes, I did. Thank you, man. You've been a great host, and best of luck with everything else.
Yeah, thank you so much. I had to take appreciation every single time, but worth it.
Yeah.